Okay, so today is one of those days where I'm just waking up and saying, what the hell happened last night? So I made a quick U-turn in the dark and hit a curb on the side of the street. And of course it was a black curb on a black street late at night. 2 miles down the road, my oil light goes on. And I had just checked the oil a few days before, so needless to say, I knew something was not right. I pulled over, looked at the car, and oil was gushing out of the bottom. It did not look good. But I thought, well, we're about 12 miles from home. Maybe we can make it. And luckily I had some oil in the back of the car. So I pulled out a quart of oil, put it in, looked underneath, and it was, needless to say, pouring out of the car as fast as I was putting it in. So let's go take a look and see what the car looks like, and I'll show you what happened. Not really a lot to see from the top of the engine, but as we come down underneath, we get under here, and you can see I've already done some work here, but you can see right there, there's a big crack all along the bottom of my oil pan. You have to take a close look right there. You can really see the hole. So, needless to say, I have to work, and I need my car on this week. So, we're going to see if we can patch that up rather than replace the oil pan. Now, I will replace this oil pan pretty soon, but for now, we're gonna see what we can do to patch that up. Here are the supplies I brought back with me, just sort of planning ahead. First of all, JB Weld. Gotta have that. Got a spreader here. This is one of my plastic spreaders I use for Bondo or things like that when I'm working on cars or any kind of plastic epoxies, that type of thing. I think this will be great. It does have a little bit on there, so of the old Bondo that I've used in the past. So brought a scraper so I can clean that off, and we'll do that here in a second. Extra set of gloves, wire brush, just because I'm going to give that when we go back there to clean it, and a box cutter, because I'm going to cut this box up and make a pellet to use for mixing the JB Weld. So let's get started. Here we are. We're going to tear this apart. Now the directions on this say to mix equal parts of the epoxy and the hardener. So we're going to get it ready, and then I'll mix it here in a second. We'll probably go back underneath the car and mix it there. And time to go fix this thing. Whew, that's a little work there. I'm going to go get a clean cloth, and then we'll start doing some degreasing. I think I've got the majority of this done. Looks like it's clean, roughed up with the sandpaper, and let's see what's next. The next thing for me to do is going to be to take the JB Weld, let's mix it up, take it back out there, and this has a set time of 4 to 6 hours, so I've got plenty of time to work with it. And I think I'll get new gloves. Okay guys, I'm back, and we got our bottle of Simple Green and a clean rag. Let's see, we'll push some of our tools off to the side here. See if we can do a little house cleaning. Use the old rag, get the dirty stuff out of the way that's falling apart. Falling out of the bottom of the engine here. Here's an old engine. Okay, looks like a lot of the oil seems to have stopped coming down, so, and dripping out. So I think we're getting most of it out there. And what we're going to do now is really just get up in there and clean as much as we possibly can. I've used this brake cleaner first. Seems to work really well, and it dries. I love brake cleaner for a lot of different reasons. Okay, I think we're clean. So let's take a look. One more look at this crack before. You can see that was nasty. Oil just poured out of that. There we go. That is it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that cure for a little while, and I might clean up a little bit here, and then I'll come back and I'll do an inspection on that, make sure everything's okay, and if we have to do a little bit to cover some little holes, we will. If not, then I'm going to go around. I'm going to do a much bigger amount, and I'm going to cover much more around here. And the only reason for that really is if something happens here, if it starts peeling off because of the oil coming from the inside of the oil pan, or the pressure, the temperature, although there isn't a lot of temperature down here, just the heated oil, then hopefully the idea is what's around it will hold it in place and still continue to leak, stop the leak. But if I keep an eye on it until I can get a new pan. So odds are I'll go find one in a junkyard somewhere and do that. So there we go. You can see what I've done here. Let's take a look at this, if you can see it. There's what I've done, and you can see sort of where the pan had been pushed up and cracked right there is now filled in, and that should do it. And if anybody has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will add to the rest of this video in a few hours. Okay, well today we're gonna go take a look and see what we did to the car and the oil pan and see how it turned out. I'll also show you what I did last night off camera, where I had gone back over and found a couple little pinholes in the epoxy, the JB Weld epoxy, and then what I had done to completely cover those and a little extra. So let's go take a look at the car and see how it turned out. So you can see it looks like it has formed a little tacky, but they said that this stuff takes a good 24 to 48 hours to completely dry. But last night I came down under here and I found a little tiny pinhole right here and another one right over here that had just a hair of oil coming through. So what I did was I completely refilled all this, made sure, and then I covered it all the way up here, because if you remember right, the crack actually went up to here, down, and this was a large part, and all the way over here. So I filled it up over the top. Typically oil does not run uphill when you're driving, so that'll cover that. And I brought it all the way over here and then down around this area. Probably a little bit of an overkill, but that should harden up completely by tomorrow when I have to drive to San Diego, which is about 500 miles from here, and hopefully everything will be fine. So it looks like it worked out. I'm going to put new oil in it, new filter, and so on, and that should be done. And it looks good. It's dried to a dark gray, which is good. Still a little tacky though, but pressing on it, it seems to be fairly hard. But I think that tackiness is due to the temperature. So hopefully putting some oil in it and getting it started. Heat it up a little bit and drive it, and let's see how it holds.